Hello, Elfreda here of Metta-morphics. I'm pre-recording videos today because I'm going on some annual leave in the next few weeks, and so when you see this video, I will be on holidays. I wanted to record a video today about validating emotions. I think it's really important that we understand the value behind validating somebody else's experience, in particular their emotions. Now, I grew up in a home where if I was upset, if I was angry, if I was sad, if I was experiencing any kind of negative emotion, in the hope of getting rid of it or helping me to feel better, my parents, particularly my mother, would often tell me it wasn't that bad. So if I told it I was feeling something, she would often say, oh, well, wait till I tell you what happened to me, and telling me something that was much worse, so that then it would imply that my feelings weren't valid. Now, this had a massive impact on me, and it still does to this day, many, many years later, because it taught me as a child that my feelings weren't valid. And it also taught me that my negative feelings weren't wanted. Now, that has impacted how I've shown up in the world as an adult, because it meant I didn't talk about stuff when it was really, really difficult for me. I only talked about it when it was solved, when the problem was solved. I've never talked about when I've been physically unwell or any illnesses that I have in my life. I haven't talked about periods of my life when I was extremely anxious, or when I was incredibly sad, or even in my teens when I was suicidal. I didn't talk about those things until I had got to a place where I felt I had a handle on them. Now, the way I dealt with them was to just disassociate, so to put on a very logical hat and reason myself out of it. And that was because that's what I was taught, that my feelings weren't okay. Now, they know that experiencing that doesn't have a very good impact when it comes to our mental health, because all feelings are valid. There's nothing wrong with you being angry or sad or upset. It's perfectly fine. It's not about the emotion that the difficulty lies. It's what do we do with it? And when we get our emotions validated and we're allowed to feel those emotions, so we're allowed to experience our anger, and I don't mean to vent it or to take it out on somebody, but to just experience what it's like, the heat, the tension, the tightness in the jaw, the lump in the throat, to experience that and recognize that that is okay, allows us then to let those emotions run their course and complete themselves. But when we're not allowed to do that, those emotions often get shoved down, and so then they surface all the time. So I know for myself, sadness was not something that I felt was allowed when I was a child. And so I know I have a deep sadness in me, and that it surfaces at the most inopportune moments. I could be watching a video of a puppy on YouTube, or see somebody win a medal in the Olympics, which has been going on in the last while, and be overwhelmed with emotion. And that's because that sense of sadness is incomplete. It never got its opportunity to run its course, which is often what happens to people when they experience trauma responses, that these are emotional things that nobody was present for, or nobody acknowledged or validated in us. So when you're with somebody who's upset, rather than trying to make them feel better by minimizing their experience, acknowledge it. Say to them, you can see how upset they are. You can see how difficult it is. And most importantly, ask them how you can help them. What is it that you need in this moment? Is there something I can do to help you? It might just be to sit with them and hold their hand. It might just be to say, listen, it's okay that you're angry, or it's okay that you're sad. But when these emotions are allowed to live, they run their course and then they disappear. Then we come back into a regulated state. But if we don't have that, we push them down, and then they can surface in our adult life. So if you do have children, allow them to experience their emotions. Recognize it's got nothing to do with you. It's purely to do with them. But by validating it and saying, this is okay that you're experiencing this, you're supporting them in developing great emotional granularity, which is a variety of emotions, and for them to feel safe and comfortable experiencing all emotions, not just thinking that they need to be the smiley, happy person all of the time, that they feel that they're loved regardless of how they show up in the world. If you found this video useful, then please get in touch. I'd love to hear your comments, or if you'd like to find out more about what I do, then please send me a message. I'm more than happy to talk to you about what the next steps are if you'd like to work with me as your coach.